Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Jon LaPook. Welcome to CBSDoc.com in beautiful Central Park at the Boathouse. 50 years ago, the FDA announced that it was approving something called the birth control pill. It was supposed to change everything. Well, I'm here with sex therapist Miriam Baker to discuss, did it really change everything, and specifically, what about sexuality? The pill was supposed to usher in this era of free sex, right? Are people having more sex now than they were 50 years ago?
I believe people probably are having more sex because the fields of sexual therapy really had their beginning way back towards the 50s. Masters and Johnson came along, Kinsey came along, if you can remember.
Teacher.
And my teacher, Helen Kaplan, who was the pioneer of sex therapy, began to decide that we had to make this experience better because people were coming in with problems.
So were they coming in with problems because now they were having more sex than they were having in the 50s and the 40s, and now
I
it's
think
suddenly...
Kinsey would say they were always having lots of sex, but they weren't always doing it right or ever talking about it.
What's the effect then, do you think, of the pill in terms of sexuality? It's now 50 years later.
Right.
Is it better? Is it worse? It depends on who you are? What's been the general effect?
I think the pill really, what it's done is it's done the same thing for our culture that the new pill, Viagra and Cialis, erectile difficulty pills, do, is they bring to the culture a consciousness that people want to have sex and sex for pleasure. But we've moved from the worry over pregnancy to the worry over desire and the worry over performance. So the pill itself, did it change anything for women? Of course it did. But did it change anything for our sexuality? No. Because we're still a very uneducated culture when it comes to sex, an inhibited culture and a hypocritical culture about sex. We have not caught up our education to what society demands of us. We live in a very hypersexual, hypererotic culture. And in that culture, we have expectations of women for sure, how they should look, how they should act, how they should be, but their reality does not match that.
It's 1960, sex is forbidden. Right. Suddenly, sex is everywhere, you can talk about it, you've got the birth control pill. What are some of the unintended consequences of that?
We still have a sense that what's forbidden is more delicious. So when the pill wasn't available to us, sex maybe happened in the back of a car, happened with such excitement because it was so forbidden. So what do we do now about using forbiddenness? Well, we actually can move around that because we exchange that for the sense of freedom. Because sex really is about pleasure.
Where does this leave us?
Really what matters is education. If we continue to educate ourselves, we continue to educate our children, we continue to educate our partners, then we have much more fulfilling sexual lives.
So, not surprisingly, it's not just a matter of better living through chemistry when it comes to sex. It's a matter of communication, mutuality, and things that aren't so easily taken care of by just popping a pill. Hopefully you found this interesting. I know I did. Thank you so much, Miriam Baker.
Pleasure.
Thank you to the Boathouse in Central Park, beautiful Central Park in New York City. I'm Dr. Jon LaPook. Good day and good health.